You're listening to Hotep Ish with your host, Dewan B. Intelligent Ish Talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
See, look, even my music is better than other shows. I got my man Duncan Penderhughes custom makes my music. People keep asking me, what song is that? Where do you get your music from? My music's exclusive to me. Right? You're not gonna find my music out in the general library. I'm not about to play some old regular music underneath the sound. We gonna play some customized shit. Welcome everybody, welcome. Ice Cube is calling these niggas out, ain't he? Ice Cube. The nigga you love to hate is out there making his rounds, serving these clowns. You about to get the news from DeJuan Brown. What's up, everybody? Hey, Butter Love, thank you for the topic. Because I've been sitting around all day trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about. I know I wanted to come to y'all going to the Hollywood Bowl tonight to see Charlie Wilson and In Vogue, but I wanted to come to y'all before I went to the bowl tonight. Wanted to come holler at y'all first. And I was sitting around like, what the F am I going to talk about today? And I've been waiting to talk about Ice Cube for a couple weeks now. I made this thumbnail like 3 weeks ago when he first started going out on the NBA. And I was going to come to you guys live with that, but something came up and I never came with the Ice Cube topic. So Ice Cube is going to be somebody that, you know, I follow Ice Cube very closely. Those of you who've been listening for a long time, when he first dropped the Plan for Black America back in 2020, I was one of the first people on YouTube to really break down the whole plan in detail and to talk about what we need to do to help him push the plan forward. When Cube make moves, I pay attention because Ice Cube generally makes moves of substance. You know, he's not out there saying you don't need to kneel anymore because I got a job. That's not what Cube is doing. What Ice Cube is doing is different than what the rest of these cats got going on. So different. A lot of you lame brain, especially you vote blue no matter who assholes don't even see what he doing. Y'all was the main one saying, it's too late. Why is he putting the plan for Black America up? We got to get Trump out. We got to get Trump out. Ice Cube needs to meet with Joe Biden. He can wait till after the election. Joe Biden is going to meet with him after the election. Still ain't met with Ice Cube. But we about to get into it. We're going to first start off by welcoming my sponsor, Ride Ready Car Wash. When I tell you, it's the best car wash I've ever used. And it's dope when the car wash you use comes to your house. I hit them up. They come, wash both my cars while I sit in the garage and smoke a blunt. And I know some of y'all out there like, you can wash your own car. Yes, I can. But I don't feel like it. And when I do, look, I'm a grown-ass male Gemini, man. Even when I do clean my car, it ain't gonna look that good. And when I do wash my car, man, it's gonna be, ain't gonna be no dirt on it. It's gonna be dry. But that shit ain't gonna be spick and span. I ain't doing all that extra shit. Now, if you one of them detailed motherfuckers that can go spick and spanning and cleaning your windows all good, like, and I put in my time. Look, I'm a black kid, and my dad had a Cadillac. Holla if you hear me in the chat room. If your dad had a Cadillac or a Lincoln, you was spending Saturdays helping him wash that motherfucker. And my childhood Saturdays was remembered by getting woken up by the car. And my dad had one of them Cadillacs. Remember the Cadillacs with the spoke rims, spoke wheels? Remember the spoke ones? The old long Cadillacs back in there with the spokes, so you couldn't just clean a rim. He had me getting all up in the spokes and shit. Man, look, I ain't washing a goddamn thing. I'm getting my car washed. And I don't apologize. So if you like me, call Ride Ready 310-753-1947 at ride.ready. Email ridereadynow@gmail.com. www.rideready.org. Hey, and also, man, before we get started, go to DewanB.com. I'm getting some things shuffled around on the site right now, but I got the shop open. It's bigger than hip hop. My new documentary coming out, The Black American Music Family Tree. You can get a t-shirt right now at DewanB.com. We got the men's, we got the women's, and pretty soon we're going to have the cheerins. Cheerins. Free shipping on all orders over $75. And pay attention to the courses tab. Pay attention. I got some new courses coming. I still got my old course up, Communicating Racism to Children. And I'm going to keep this up. For those parents out there who see what's going on in this world today and you don't quite know how to break that down to your children or your grandchildren, this is a webinar I did about 2 years ago. It's still relevant. This is always going to be relevant as long as we're dealing with white supremacy. But I'm about to put my cardiology classes on this tab. So pretty soon, my cardiology courses, hit me up. I'm doing a 3-month long class. For those of you who took my last class, you guys get it at a dope ass discount. Everybody else that didn't take that class, you get it at regular price. Breakthroughcards.com. Thank y'all. That's the business side. Now it's time to get into the talk. We had enough people come up in here, so y'all ready. Ice Cube versus everybody. Let me play some music. There we go. That's the groove I want today. All right, so Ice Cube versus everybody. Ice Cube has always been his own man. Think about, and for those of you who've been around for a long time, you know this. For those of you newer, full disclosure, yes, I am biased, but my bias plays nothing into what we're talking about today. Ice Cube is my muse. Ice Cube is my muse. He always has been since I was 10. And because I was 10 when Death Certificate dropped. And the way Ice Cube not only went at his former group, NWA. See, on Death Certificate, if you want to know who Ice Cube is, you got to study that album. I say, No Vaseline is the least of the damage Ice Cube did on that album. Ice Cube took on everybody in that album. He took on the government. He took on black society and how we think. If I was over on Mixcloud, I could play the music. But chat room moderators, if you can help me out and put up my Mixcloud when I broke down Ice Cube's Death Certificate album. I broke the album down, but Death Certificate is an album that it really defined a time in American history. If you want to understand the social climate of early 90s LA and how the temperament of black society nationwide, you have to listen to that album. That was one of the rare albums that encapsulated a moment in time while at the same time being timeless. And in this album, to understand what Cube is doing right now, you really get a peer into who he is in this album. Starting off with the first song, The Wrong Nigga to Fuck With. Came out the bat telling you he the wrong. I'm going to tell you one thing. He was the wrong nigga to fuck with. And the reason why Cube has always been my muse is because Cube has always stood up to the bullshit. He ain't never went along with the program. And that's the kind of person I am. And I've always been drawn to people who are willing to stand 10 toes down against the multitudes. And I've always been someone, once I've come to a conclusion, and my conclusion is based in my study and my research and things that I've observed. See, a lot of you niggas would be like, you need to just go ahead and look it up. No, I'm the nigga that looked it up and read the books. And read the books that the books reference. That's me. And then found somebody out who knew what was going on at the time and asked him some questions. So when I draw a conclusion, my conclusion is based in what I feel is right. And you can't move me off that. I don't give a fuck how many people tell me no. Now, if someone gives me a bit of information that can alter my perception, I'll be open to it. But just because a million people are saying don't do something, that ain't enough. Because there's millions of stupid motherfuckers out there. Appreciate that, brother love. That's right, DJ Lundy. But Death Certificate, giving up the nappy dugout. Then Look Who's Burning, telling you to put a condom on. Watch these women that you messing around with. Man's best friend. You can have a dog, but he'll shit the den. In today's world, a gat is a man's best friend. But he wasn't talking about busting it on another black man. He was talking about using it in protection overall. Because we as black people tend to be scared of guns. I Want to Kill Sam, talking about Uncle Sam and how they kidnapped us black folks, made us build a country and pay taxes. Horny Little Devil, talking about these rapists and these pedophiles and these weirdos in the industry. Black Korea, can't turn he was telling you that these motherfuckers are trying to take over and disrespect us. Then you got True to the Game. Nigga, pretty soon it won't be no more Ice Cube, just Vanilla Ice. 30 years later, wasn't he right? Colorblind. That song was talking about how black folks should sit the colors down and see the humanity in one another. Doing dumb shit. Talking about how it is being a young black man. You do dumb shit when you're 12 or 13, 14, but you realize that doing dumb shit to get you locked up quick. Us. Got a bad heart condition. Still eat hog maws and chitlins. Talking about how we get down as black folks and how when we try to throw a party, there's always some ignorant niggas out there with you that fucked you over. That album was a full forensic analysis of not only the social times we were in, but also who we are as black people. It was questioning us. Extremely revolutionary album. And I recommend getting into all of Ice Cube's catalog, Laugh Now, Cry Later, 2006, but specifically the 4-album run from America's Most Wanted, Death Certificate, Lethal Injection, and The Predator. Well, The Predator, then Lethal Injection. Because Lethal Injection got a song that I love called Cave Bitch. White bitch, I don't play that. Just because I got on my LA hat, stomping, walking in my big black boots is the jingle. Now you want Mandingo. Coming from the land where the choppers roam. So fuck you, bitch, and your copper tone. Stringy hair, no derriere, front and pair. Same. Y'all ain't never, every black person in here, man, look, not now. Not now because I'm talking. Don't do it now because I'm talking. But when I'm done talking, go listen to Cave Bitch by Ice Cube. Because you can't tame me with no bitch named Amy. That's Ice Cube. So, Ice Cube in his later years, unlike most of these coon-ass rappers, he's letting it be known that those were not just words. And before we go even further, I see a lot of people talking about, okay, Ice Cube fell out with Khalid Muhammad. You don't know what went on behind closed doors, folks. Let me tell you something. We still live in a system of white supremacy. And if somebody has to separate from somebody in order to keep whatever else they have going on, then it is what it is. The way I look at it, Ice Cube never dissed Khalid Muhammad. He never downed the Nation of Islam. He never said anything. But I know how this game works. If Ice Cube had to distance himself from Khalid Muhammad to make Friday, then it is what it is. We don't know the inner workings of that dynamic, positive or negative. All you know is what some other nigga told you. And that's just real. That's all I know. We don't know what went on behind closed doors. We don't know who was in Ice Cube's ear telling him things that could have been true or untrue. We don't know what kind of threats he got and what kind of deals he had to make to release his movies. But I'll tell you this, whatever deals he had to make did not stop him from being political. Didn't shut him up. And whatever deals he had to make behind closed doors, shitting on other black people who love us wasn't part of that deal. He never shit on Khalid Muhammad. He never shit on any other black man that didn't do him wrong. And even after he did No Vaseline, he got back cool with all the brothers he dissed in that song. That was just music. It was a diss song and back to loving other black men. So if he had to make a deal to release movies and to distance himself from somebody, then it just is what it is. That's not for me or you or any of us to judge. Now, I'll say this. If whatever deal that was made, if he distanced himself from Khalid Muhammad and Farrakhan and then started writing music dissing them, or started going on interviews talking about how Khalid Muhammad is not for black people and he started shitting on Khalid Muhammad, then we'd be having a different conversation. We'd be like, all right, dude, all right. Brother, hey, man, I know you ain't fucking with him, but hey, chill. He didn't do that. So I know we all saw the YouTube video of Khalid Muhammad saying, our brother Ice Cube has gone cold. We've all seen the video, so for you to be, you're not, I have a very, I know it's going to be something surprise somebody new in the chat room. I have a very intelligent chat room. I can promise you 90% of my chat room has seen the video. So you don't need to, man, what he said. You're not giving any of us the news, okay? We saw this shit on YouTube back before they started scrubbing the YouTube of all the good videos. Like in 2012, we saw that video, okay? All right, so you're not giving us anything new, smart guys. So, with that being said, Ice Cube is still at it. He's still the nigga you love to hate. He's still the nigga that stood up to Jerry Heller and turned down that money because it wasn't right. You know? He's still that guy. And look at what's going on. For those of you who don't know, Ice Cube has been on a crusade about his Big Three basketball league. The NBA allegedly is making it hard on our brother Ice Cube, doing things behind closed doors that's tinkering with his league's sponsorship, tinkering with different people involved with the game. And all Ice Cube is asking is that the NBA leave him alone. Like, he's saying, work with us. And we listen to his interviews, he's saying, when Ice Cube said he wants them to work with him, he made it very clear. Work with him just meant just leave us alone. You ain't got to help. Just stop the dirty, underhanded tactics with potential sponsors pulling away from investing in our league. He's taking on the big bad boy, the NBA. Ice Cube said in a recent interview that he is there, that he's done being quiet. He's done being quiet. He's taking the powers that be up to task. Ice Cube is going so far as to talk about gatekeepers in rap. And he's responding to these idiotic ass, stupid ass arguments by on the Drink Champs by Tony Yayo, saying that Biggie is a better storyteller than Ice Cube. Better storyteller? Ice Cube wrote movies, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about, better storyteller? Anyway, that's what I always talk about, these dumbass top 5 arguments and hip-hop arguments. Hip hop, the music conversation around rap hip hop has got to be the lowest base level, dumbest ass music talk on earth. How we as black people, the creators of jazz, the innovators of salsa and bossa nova, the creators of rhythm and blues and ragtime, the creators of all of these great forms of music, how do we narrow every music discussion down to a fucking top 5? Or this person versus that person? I don't get it. Hip hop niggas will argue with you night and day and night, over who's better than who, and not spend 2 seconds deciphering the difference between the two. And while Ice Cube is out there fighting the good fight for reparations, fighting the good fight to keep his league afloat, you got some dumbass rappers talking about, well, such and such is a better storyteller. Well, if he is, so the fuck what? Why ain't you talking about what the moves Ice Cube is making? Because he's making moves, especially with the plan for Black America, that can help us all. But instead of these dumbass radio shows of today talking about anything of substance, Ice Cube's career has been a career of substance. That's why I don't like even talk. I swear to God, you hip hoppers, you niggas are the worst. You niggas don't know shit about music before 1973. You niggas all want to talk about top 5. Can't explain the difference between one versus the next. Half the niggas in your top 5 you don't even listen to. You only got them in there because it's the right thing. Because it just, man, you gotta put Jay-Z in there. No, you don't. Put where the fuck you want in your top 5. I mean, the conversation around hip hop is just stupid. I can't. Chat room. I'm not, and I haven't been looking at the chat room. I'm about to look at the chat room. Give me a yes or no. How often, or I don't know, answer however you answered. But how often do you hear a hip hop based conversation talk about what an artist said? You hear niggas say, this person got bars, that person got bars. But when's the last time you heard niggas break down the bars and what they really mean? The substance. When's the last time you seen that? These hip hop conversations are dumb as fuck. I swear to God. I see rarely, not in a long time, never, sometimes, never. Yeah, so it's not just me. It's not just me. When I hear these hip hop based conversations, it's just the dumbest shit. It's like, okay, let's say we're gonna talk about a rapper's bars. Who's a better storyteller? All right, what kind of stories are they telling? And are the stories of substance or stories of bullshit? You got these dumb niggas talking about I'm gonna take somebody's stories without breaking down the substance of the stories. Ice Cube's told stories that'll keep your ass out of jail. And not just one off. I mean, album after album. Ice Cube gave you stories on how to love yourself and how to love your community. Ice Cube gave stories on marrying the woman that you fucked on a previous album. I got a beat from Kim, and she can do it all night. Only to when you get to 2006 in the Laugh Now Cry Later album, Ice Cube talking about how he married his manager. He married his woman and made her his manager. And because when it comes down to preferences, you can say you like one rapper over the other all day. Why is preference even an argument? Everybody on earth is entitled to preference. But when you start getting into specifics like bars and things like that, do you guys ever break down the substance of what's being said and its social impact on the people? Jay-Z has, oh man, Jay-Z, man, his wordplay is amazing. But his wordplay throughout the 2000s was telling you that being a grown-ass man was buying a better automobile and having a prettier lady. That was his. Is that what you using your slick wordplay for? To tell me that to be a better man, I gotta be a better consumer? Huh? I gotta buy bigger rims? Oh man, but he had lines. But he's telling you to spend every fucking dime you got on bullshit. Well, he's still a man. All right. I swear to God. America, see, listen, folks. This is the end result of them taking music out of schools. The direct consequence was we didn't learn music. The indirect consequence was people did not learn how to think for themselves. Music, when you learn music, teaches up, it opens up neural pathways. It gets you to use both sides of your brain. It teaches you how to use math to build and reconstruct and deconstruct and reconstruct. Because when you get a sheet of music, you got to deconstruct the music and reconstruct it with the sound. You're mentally deconstructing the music sheet while reconstructing the notes written on the sheet, creating a sound that's called music. And when you know music, when you learn music, when you understand what music truly is, you realize that there is no fucking top five. You see that, okay, I like this rapper for this reason. I like that rapper for that reason. And I like the other rapper over there for this reason. This song, I may not even like this rapper, but I like that song. I like this particular rapper because of the producer he's with. You'd be able to have, we'd at least have that kind of level of substance in our conversations. But we talking top five. So since all niggas can talk about his top five, you really can't talk about the moves that he's making. The political moves. Is anybody taking time to go back to Ice Cube 4-album run from America's Most Wanted to Lethal Injection other than me? Has anyone gone back to deconstruct those arguments that he made back then and ask and see how they played out in the last 30 years? You dig? What up, Rob Nelson? Black McBain, welcome to the chat room. I'm just looking back at the chat room. Hey, yeah, you're right. You ain't never heard of Ice Cube, E40 and RBX caught up with weirdo boy Diddy. Why every story that involved Diddy got some weird shit happening? It seems like wherever Diddy's name is, it's either some dookie activity, somebody got robbed, somebody got screwed over. It's always something. God damn. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, us and True to the Game are still relevant topics in Black society today. And so is Black Korea. And so is Horny Little Devil. And so is Who's the Mac. Who's the Mac? Is that brother? Come on now. Trying to get any bitch he can get with a good rap. Rolling to the side. And it looks like he's sinking into that leopard interior. This nigga thinks every girl's inferior. Who's the Mac? Is it the nigga that's always begging for money at the gas station? Who's the Mac? That song, Who's the Mac, is a very well-constructed argument over who's the real pimp. Who's the real Mac? Is it the guy we call the pimp? Is it the person begging for your money? Is it the people in power getting money up out of you? That song, Who's the Mac, asks an extremely important social question. It goes way deeper than Fuck the Police with Ice Cube. You got to realize he wrote Fuck the Police when he was 16. Go back. I be laughing at people that be talking shit about NWA. They be like, NWA did this, and NWA did that. Ice Cube was a fucking 16-year-old. He was writing that. That was kids in their teens and early 20s talking shit. Like, I'm a black man. Look, I'm a man. And I gotta admit, and ladies, you might agree, and fellas, I know y'all gonna agree. It ain't shit more dirty, confused, degenerate, and fucked up than the mind of a 16-year-old boy. I remember when I was 16. Hey, fellas in the chat room, holla if you hear me. It ain't nothing more ignorant, degenerate, sorry, horrible, evil, and fucked up than the mind of a 16-year-old boy. Nigga, when we was 16, we had all the the shit that was going through my mind at 16. Oh my God. Fellas. Holla at me, fellas, in the chat room. Am I lying? Chat room, am I lying? When you was 16, your mind was, you was fucked. So think about it. You're a 16-year-old and you have the ability to write music. For a 16-year-old mind to say, fuck the police, nigga, that's the least of what a 16-year-old is thinking. Saying shit like, Bomb Dome Pops knocked his old ass out. Nigga, yes. Dude. When that's on Boys in the Hood, I remember old people getting mad. What's this ignorant stuff right here? Talking about bombing on Pops. Look, man, look. When you 15, 16, and your dad do some shit that make you mad because your dad will do some shit, that shit come to your mind, but you know your daddy will beat your ass, so you don't do it. When you a 14, 15, 16-year-old boy, everybody said, man, I'll beat blah, 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 blah. But you know you're not going to, because every boy, is, if you were raised with your father, you get to a point at 11, 12, 13 where you start to challenge. And you do a challenge, and then your dad do something to you to show you his grown man strength. And you be like, oh. You 13, 14, your nuts done dropped. You know what I mean? You beating up all the other kids at school in basketball. You know, you feeling yourself a little bit. Then you come to Pops, and then Pops remind you that you just a boy. So you done had the thought, man. So when you 16 and you hear Bomb Dome Pops knocked his old ass out, nigga, as a 16, nigga, come on. You know, nigga. People. Think about what they get mad at Q for writing as a 16-year-old. Bombing on Pops? Yes. You want to bomb? You not? Somebody said, I'm going to reserve judgment. Goddamn, how long you think you gonna need? He been doing it. Q been doing the same thing since 1986, brother. Shit. This nigga said, I'm gonna reserve judgment until we get to 2073. It's just, but at the same time, that same mind wrote a classic, and that if you was living in LA at that time, that was the social conditions. That's what was going on. But I don't care what nobody says. When I heard Bomb Dome Pops knock his old ass out, that was funny as fuck to me when I was a kid. But yet at the same time, it never made me want to bomb on my pops. You thought me. Ain't no way in hell I was gonna bomb my pop. I love and respect my dad too much. But as a kid, that's a funny ass thought. Ain't ever gonna do it. Never gonna, nigga. I ain't, to this day, I ain't never raising my voice at my dad. I was kicking it with my dad the other day. On Sunday, me and my dad kicked it for a minute. So let's get real with this. Let's get real with this. Cardology students, I do have the full 3-month class. My previous students, I sent you guys the email with y'all. And then for those who did not take, if you wanted to understand cardology a little better, I got my class starting next month. Introductory to cardology, and also a longer class, learning how to read yourself and read your relationships. Oh, and also, hey, look, yo, I got like new shirts and shit. I got new shirts and shit. I got new shirts and shit. I got, can't you feel a brand new day? I got new shirts and shit. Get yours right now at Dewan B. Got motherfucking DewanB.com/shop. Get yours, cause I got my documentary coming out. My documentary is coming out. It's bigger than hip hop. The Black American Music Family Tree. Help me raise funds for this. The crowdfunding is coming up. But in the meantime, get your shirt. It's bigger than hip hop. Support the cause. Y'all know I got the documentary dropping real soon. Y'all know I have the documentary dropping real soon. I'm doing a pilot, actually. The pilot is dropping real soon. The full-on documentary is going to need your help. The season. I've got a whole season of this shit. Y'all want to see what I'm cooking up? Listen to this. In the 1860s, 1870s, to France, to Germany, of course, some of that's been taken away through the Jim Crow laws and these things. But in spite of that, we've always had this communal aspect to our music, coming together and singing. And that goes back to the 1700s. That goes back to the 1800s. One of the first big-time bands or groups, you can say, was the Fisk Jubilee Singers. They were around in the 1850s while slavery was still going on. And they were getting asked to speak, to sing and spread knowledge in the 1860s, 1870s. See, that's what we're doing with the documentary. Now, when I do the full-on documentary, it's bigger than hip-hop, the Black American music, the Black American influence over world music and culture, the Black American Music Family Tree. I got some top name actors. I got comedians lined up. Cause this whole story is very comprehensive, y'all. We breaking down how stand-up comedy was created, jazz, blues, the whole Black American Music Family Tree. We are going in detail as to how hip hop came about. Hip hop is not a root form of music. Hip hop is a branch on the tree of music that Black Americans created on our own here in North America. And Ice Cube exemplifies hip hop. See, this is why Ice Cube is so dope. This is why I have reverence for Ice Cube and his career as an artist, as a musician. Ice Cube falls in line with all of the greats. Part of the tradition of our music is having a social claim. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck I mean when I said social claim. What it is, I lost my goddamn train of thought. I'm over it. See, I started reading some of you. You niggas said, your niggas are funny as fuck in the chat room. I lost my goddamn train of thought. This nigga Black McBain said, I never felt better than when I disarmed my dad with a machete. That shit do. Hey, y'all niggas need to blame Black McBain for me losing my thought. I read that shit and was like, what the fuck did this nigga just write? And I forgot what I was saying. See, that's why I don't be looking at the chat room when I be talking. When I get into a stream of consciousness, I don't look at the chat room because y'all be saying shit to throw me off. William Jones, I will come here to Nashville to speak. Just have him hit me up and have them fly me out and I'll be there. That's all it takes. All it takes is for them to call me up, pay my honorarium, and I'm there. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Hip-hop is not a root form of music. It's not a root. It's a branch. There's always going to be confusions and fights over the roots of hip-hop. Because in order to find the roots, you have to go down through the funk, down through disco, through soul, through rock and roll, through the blues, through jazz, through stand-up comedy, through spoken word to find the roots. I appreciate that, Andre Young. You're not going to find the roots of anything on the branch. Hip hop, Ice Cube, this is where I lost my train of thought. Ice Cube exemplifies the highest level, the highest standard of the Black American artist. See, when it comes to entertainment, we're very musical people. Remember on Trading Places, when he was with Duke and Duke, when he was with them in the house, and it was Randolph and Mortimer Duke there with Coleman, the butler, and Billy Ray Valentine was in the jacuzzi. He was like, hey, jacuzzi, when I was a kid, we used to have to fart in the tub. And then when they closed the bathroom, you hear Billy Ray Valentine in the background singing, when you think of love, your heart beats faster. Y'all remember that scene on Trading Places? Remember when Randolph Duke said, he said, what is he doing in there, Mortimer? And Mortimer was like, they're very musical people. Trading Places was a cold-ass movie. Every line in that goddamn movie gave you something to think about. But it's true. We're very musical people. So, being able to rhyme slick in Black America, that's a dime a dozen. We got an uncle that talks slicker than any rapper that we know. Tell the truth, black people. Press the number 1 for me. If you got an uncle, a cousin, one of your dad's homeboys that be saying slicker shit than goddamn almost any rapper you've ever heard of. Press the number 1 if you feel me. Your dad's homeboy, your uncle, them niggas know how to put 3 words together. We got friends that can rap their asses off. Rhyming, singing, rapping, that is easy for us. The thing that separates the greats The all-time greats are the ones that can leave you a message of substance to go along with that slick talk. The substance is what made Richard Pryor great. The substance is what made Billie Holiday great. When Billie Holiday risked her livelihood in 1937 and sang the song Strange Fruit, which barred her from singing in New York for over 5 years, got her abused by police and targeted. Max Roach, It's Time, 1960, bebop. It's time for revolution. There are no words yet. We're just in jazz. We're in jazz right now, so they ain't put no words to it, but the whole theme of the album was revolution. The greatest, Max Roach, for those of you who don't know, he brought in power drumming. When you hear drummers just taking over and wilding out and doing all these amazing things, the father of that is a man named Max Roach. And during the prime of his career, he wrote an album called It's Time, calling for cultural and black revolution, black liberation now. This was before the Civil Rights March on Washington. He called for this in 1960. Thing that sets Stevie Wonder apart. Fulfilling this first finality. Big Brother, those albums, those songs. You Haven't Done Nothing. Stood up. Put his social equity on the line for the people. Fought for Martin Luther King's holiday. Ray Charles, when he was facing racism in Georgia, his home state, his home area, didn't tour Georgia for over a decade because of how they treat black people. Took a stand, lost money. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Marvin Gaye had to sue Berry Gordy to put that album out. Berry Gordy did not want neither Marvin Gaye nor Stevie Wonder. Berry Gordy didn't want neither one of them going political. They both had to sue Berry Gordy in order to make a political album. That's part of the essence that makes us as black Americans so great. Not only do we say it, we say it with some substance. Parliament Funkadelic, political. Free your mind and your ass will follow. For the kingdom of heaven is within. Earth and Fire. Nas. Do You Give Us That Substance? Michael Jackson, History album. All of Michael Jackson's album, really. The thing that puts our greats all the way at the top is they not only do it, but they leave us something that we can do something with. It ain't just slick talk. It ain't just words. It's message in the music that spurs action, that inspires us, helps us grow. Yeah, Sam Cooke. Do you put it down for the people? And my question to hip hop fans is this. And if I ever met Tony Yayo or any of these top 5 niggas I be talking, my question to you would be this. At what point, for all you top 5 niggas, do you show honor and reverence for those who put their social and career on the line to say something against the establishment that's going to hurt the establishment and help you? And not just do it once. Make a career out of it. At what point do you show value in that? Because on the other hand, what I hear all the time is, man, these rappers today ain't talking about nothing. Rappers ain't talking about nothing. You know why rappers today ain't talking about nothing? Because they seen you niggas put up rappers who ain't talking about shit all through their top 5. Eminem, Jay-Z. People who ain't talking about shit. Biggie. That's my top 5. Man, Cube was cool, man, but he fell off. So you know what message that gets the next when they go in studying music? So, okay, I can get the accolades if I just talk about this bullshit. And you have rappers out there who can't. Even Jay-Z said it. I want to rap like Common Sense, but that wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make me no sense. Jay-Z told you niggas back in 2015, yeah, I could give you some substance, but it don't sell well. So he told you he not going to give you the game because it ain't going to put money in his pocket. And you reward him by saying, you're the greatest of all time. Okay, cool. Don't get mad when you get more of it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Watch who you promote as your top 5. And don't be mad when you get more of it. So, yeah, Prince is another one. Substance. Cube gave us substance during his prime. And he's still giving us substance. So at what point do hip-hop fans honor substance? Because as long as hip-hop fans honor bullshit over substance, bullshit is what you're going to get. You get what you honor. That should be fairly simple to understand, right? You get more of what you honor. Fair? See, in my tree, I go into detail talking about all of the different music that goes before hip hop, rap. Substance is a part of our music. All of our music is resistance music. Blues is resistance music. Jazz is resistance music. Soul, R&B, rock and roll, even country western. Country western is ours too, god damn it. And it's resistance music. So, yeah, I saw that thing with LL Cool J. I saw that. Hey, y'all, I saw that with LL Cool J. Yeah. Yeah, Latinos were there. And look out. This is what I don't respect about the hip hop guys. You niggas will bend over backwards to talk about these disrespectful parrots. Go and check out yesterday's show if you didn't. Disrespectful parrots. I call them that because all they do is parrot what we do. And they disrespectful and don't give credit to the people that they parroting. This is the documentary, y'all. Ooh, my shit look. Ooh, that's a nice. This is the documentary that's coming, y'all. Breaking all this shit down. I cannot wait to release the crowdfunding. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm shooting for $100,000 on this crowdfunding. So I'm going to need y'all help when it drop. All right? I'm going to need y'all help when it drop. We're going to do a mini series breaking all this shit down. But these rappers, I don't respect these hip hop guys because they will bend over backwards to say, hey, it was 2 Puerto Ricans at the party, but they've never acknowledged the Ohio players. You can break it down to black culture just by studying funk. Black culture? Hip hop? How do you bend over backwards to say, how do you bend over backwards to accredit these other groups with your culture, but you've never acknowledged Johnny Guitar Watson? You can't tell me this ain't hip hop? This is Johnny Guitar Watson's album cover, A Real Mother For Ya. No, this a real mother for ya, yeah. Johnny Guitar Watson is hip hop. You mean to tell me this ain't, look at the picture on the screen, y'all. This ain't hip hop? You got the ladies. Look at the camera. Look at the screen. Nigga shit. Hip hop is just nigga shit. This is nigga shit. Hip hop is just nigga shit. And people imitating niggas doing nigga shit. Hip hop is just nigga shit. And these hip hop artists, instead of acknowledging Johnny Guitar Watson, instead of acknowledging Junie Morrison, the Ohio players, you can't tell me this right here? Nigga, this is hip hop. And nigga Junie look like Big Boy from don't he look like Big Boy from Outkast? This is hip hop. Straight up hip hop swag. Straight up hip hop. That's hip hop. Nigga. The music behind hip hop and the people who made the music behind hip hop, they didn't look like Crazy Legs. It was niggas like Steve Arrington. How are you going to give Puerto Rico credit before you give credit to Steve Arrington and Slave? It ain't no motherfucking hip hop without Steve Arrington, bitch. When was the last time you heard? And this goes especially bad for the East Coast guys. See, in the West, Steve Arrington even said when he got back out there, got back into music, it was the West Coast. It's the South. It's the West Coast and the South that ain't sent. I gotta give love to the South and the West Coast. We ain't on that bullshit. But New Yorkers would rather give credit for creating a hip hop to somebody wearing a mulletino, you know, them Puerto Rican mullets, before they give credit to Steve Arrington. And that's my issue with hip hop niggas. That's my issue with hip hop niggas. And the reason why let me tell you why that's my issue. It's my issue because you sample all they music. That's why it's an issue. If hip hop rap followed the mold of Houdini and had a band playing original compositions, then okay, whatever. But 95% of the music is sampled from one of these guys I'm showing you, or one of their contemporaries. And that's just a fact. Hip hop is a reliant song. Hip hop is reliant on the music that came before it. This is Isaac Hayes. That ain't hip hop, nigga. Y'all are so quick to give credit to other groups, and you ain't even acknowledged Isaac Hayes. That's hip hop, nigga. Looking like Sleepy Brown before Sleepy Brown. Looking like Sleepy Brown's daddy. Darrell James just sent me. I'm not doing readings, brother, but you send me a cash app for a reading. You say you have an ace of spades and an ace of clubs, ace of diamonds this year for your week. That means, Darrell James, you have new beginnings, right? Ace of spades is the death to something. Something's about to end. And the ace of diamonds means something's about to begin. Let me know how that works out, brother. Let me know what ended this week and let me know what started anew. That's what those two cards mean. But anyway, this is hip hop. You done sampled Isaac Hayes over and over and over again. You took how he dressed, how he talked, how he rhymed, but you say Latinos created it hip hop 50-50. That's my issue with this whole thing. That's my issue with this whole thing. Y'all are so quick to give somebody else credit, but you did not give honor and love and credit to the people who created the soundtrack that got you here, that you still use till this day. That's a shame. And that's why hip hop is dead. Hip hop is dead because hip hop is run by coons. All coons other than Ice Cube. Other than Ice Cube and a handful of 2 or 3 other people. See, Ice Cube had George Clinton on his albums. Ice Cube always gave love to George. The West, we've always given love to Ohio, Roger Troutman and Zapp. Even though the West, LA, had funk before Ohio. Quiet as kept. Funk hit the California before it hit Ohio. The Ohio players were still doing jazz when War was doing funk here in LA, out of Compton. But when the funk did hit Ohio, Ohio took that shit to another level. And the people, the hip hop scene in LA showed love and reverence to Ohio. DJ Quick, Daz Dillinger, Dr. Dre. We need to show love to the funk out of Ohio. How the fuck you give more credit to Puerto Rico before you give credit to Ohio? Music didn't just come through together through osmosis. Had to compose and create it. Yeah, G-Funk. I got G-Funk on my tree. I got G-Funk on my tree. You see it right here? G-Funks come out of the P-Funk. And out of the P-Funk, it derived Chicana rap. Both West Coast sounds born in the funk. No, the punk funk. P-Funk is over here. Punk funk. Punk funk was that Rick James style of funk. Glam metal. All that. Funk and rock and roll are just opposite sides of the same quarter. So yeah, that's what it is, man. Ice Cube is standing up against all odds. 10 toes down. Let's show love to Ice Cube. Hit the Cash App, $ DeJuan Brown. Hit the Cash App. Yeah. B. Murray said, can I describe punk funk? Punk funk was Rick James's twist on funk. It was a little faster. Go back and listen to Rick James. A good example of punk funk is Ghetto Life. What's the song? I'm drawing a blank. Y'all know Rick James. Y'all know what the fuck with the album, the Street Signs album when he got the red boots. It has a lot of. It's a little more aggressive. Deep funk is slower. Deep funk is slower. It pulls it way back. A great example of deep funk is either "What's a Telephone Bill" by Bootsy Collins or "I'd Rather Be." You ever heard that song? I'd rather be with you, who? Yeah. Slow it down. With you. It's in the pocket. It's deep. That's deep funk. Punk funk is a little louder. It's dun 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 in the ghetto. It's aggressive. Yeah, standing on the top. That's it, Robert Turner. Standing on the top. On the top, getting down. Yeah. Yeah. Quan, don't trip on my singing, all right? All right, I can sing. All right, I can sing good enough for y'all to understand what I'm saying. How about that? I sing good enough for y'all to understand what I'm saying. Hip hop don't like honor. Look at Isaac Hayes. This ain't hip hop culture, yo. Is this not hip hop culture? Ask yourself, is this not hip hop culture? Hip hop culture is just nigga shit. This is some nigga shit. See, look. I'm glad I checked the chat. See, look. This is somebody who listens to hip hop too much, and don't listen to what somebody's saying. Why do Cali act like nobody's acting? California, funk comes from James Brown. He's from South Carolina. So before you see again, that's that whole hip hop mindset coming over into real music. Funk comes from James Brown. Sorry to tell you, he's from South Carolina. California can't claim that. But California can claim Sly and the Family Stone and War, and both groups were recording funk music before anybody out of Ohio. That's just a historical fact. Goddamn, you niggas is dumb. Look it up. And hell, Memphis can claim funk before Ohio also. Isaac Hayes. Hyperbolic, systematic, systealistics. That's funk. And it's rap out of Memphis. Stop all that stupid ass regional banging, niggas. That's what got us in the situation to begin with. New York's regional banging without showing appreciation for the others is why we in this goddamn situation to begin with. It's cool to acknowledge where a particular sound may have been rooted in, but all that this side versus that side, you dumb niggas ain't realized that's why we in the situation we in right now, playing them stupid ass tribal games. And while we playing these stupid ass tribal games, you got outside people claiming it all. You don't hear a Puerto Rican saying, West Coast versus East Coast hip hop. They're not saying that we're the founders of East Coast hip hop. They're not saying that we innovated New York style hip hop. They're saying they're the innovators of all hip hop. Pay attention, fools that want to have these stupid ass regional debates. Jamaicans aren't saying that we're responsible for the New York sound. They're saying we're responsible for it all. White folks don't say that they're responsible for New Orleans style jazz or Kansas City style jazz. They say that they're responsible for it all. And you niggas is still banging over which coast is better than the other. Wake the fuck up. Wake up and see the game being played. Ice Cube is not marching for here in California. We have a reparations bill on the table. Ice Cube didn't go and say, hey, I'm going to focus on the West Coast reparations. Did he do that? Ice Cube said, no, we're going federal. I want reparations for all black people. Ice Cube could have easily said, you know what? I'm just going to focus on California. Since you stupid ass New Yorkers want to be regional with every goddamn thing, Cube could have said, you know what? I'm just going to keep my efforts focused on the West. Since these dumbass New Yorkers want to play regional battles, let me just focus on the West. He could have done that, and he probably would have been more effective. Because when you're dealing with a concentrated area, it's a little easier to be effective in a small concentrated area. Look, Mexicans love Cube. And Mexicans all up and down through California. All Cube got to do is throw 3 free concerts for the Mexicans, and they'll vote for wherever the fuck who he say vote for. Because Mexicans love Cube. And we can have our reparations here in California. But we're not on that stupid ass regional beefing like you dumbass New Yorkers. Cube was like, no, we're going to do this for everybody. Ice Cube didn't create the big 3 and say, nah, man, it's just for the West Coast. It's only going to be games in LA, Oakland, San Diego, and Vegas. Oh, and Seattle. Cube didn't say, okay, yeah, this is the big San Francisco, LA, Vegas. This is the West Coast League. Get that dumbass regional shit out of here, people. Stop being stupid and listen to the substance within the music, okay? I got to get out of here because it is Hollywood Bowl season. And I'm about to go see En Vogue and Uncle Charlie. This nigga said ECQ only needs to speak for Mexico, right? Right. Yeah, Mexico ride for him. Yeah, they riding for him. They was mad when Cube came out talking about a plan for Black America. You saw them snap back at Ice Cube? And he said, you know, they're talking about, we're going to boycott Ice Cube. We're going to boycott Ice Cube. And he said so. And guess what happened? They didn't boycott shit because our black music is crack to these people. And them New York niggas let the immigrants gangster they shit. New York niggas be running their mouth about how tough they are, how tough New York is. Now, 2/3 of them New York niggas live in Atlanta, and the immigrants are claiming they shit. And instead of them dumbass New Yorkers realizing that people are trying to steal our black cultural heritage, they are so in love with New York, living in Atlanta, living in Charlotte, but in love with New York. No, man, but it was still a New York thing. It was still a New York thing. Well, New York don't give a fuck about you, nigga. You back living in Charleston, South Carolina, where your great-great-granddaddy was born. Because New York kicked your black ass out and brought in these immigrants. Yep, I said it. I said it. And I challenge any New Yorker to a debate on that. Cause all your ass is gonna do is get loud and you ain't gonna be saying shit. That's what New Yorkers be like. They don't New Yorkers just get loud. They don't be talking about a goddamn thing. No, because the Hudson River is the reason why. You nigga, you ain't said shit. You love New York, but New York don't love you, nigga. That's why your ass is living in Macon, Georgia. Trying to make it happen. Much respect to my Atlanta people having to deal with them New Yorkers. They've been talking shit, y'all been hearing y'all whole life. Man, the South don't know what it's doing. The South don't know real hip hop. Now, 2/3 of them niggas live where? The South. You done? You done? All right, cool. 2/3 of them niggas live where? In the South. I'm done talking shit to y'all. I'm done talking shit with y'all. I appreciate the Desmond. I appreciate the Cash App. All right. Somebody just hit a thumbs down. They must live in New York. Well, hit that thumbs down and make sure you put some shoes on so no big ass rat don't be gnawing at your pinky toe, nigga. Yeah, we are one. Salute to Philadelphia for creating music that the world now loves, but y'all not claim jumping it like and acting like y'all the end all be all. Salute to Detroit, New Orleans. Kansas City, Memphis, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Michigan, Oakland, California, Los Angeles, California, Dallas, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, and all of the cities and places, Birmingham, Alabama, and all of the places that black people create and make great music, all right? And remember this. I got you, Wally Gibson, I got you. Remember this. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.